All right, everybody. Welcome. Turn this monitor just a little bit. Turn the camera over just a little bit. All right. That looks like it's down too far. No game sound. That's because it's set to microphone. Because for whatever reason, it defaulted to the microphone. So, and this needs to come back up. Because it needs to utilize most of that green. Alright. Okay. Oh, what happened last time, Di? I feel like you're a professional at this now. We finished not only the last chapter, but we finished the last episode. You're correct. Yeah. Aristotle Means was convicted. So, we're going to start a brand new episode. Episode 4, The Cosmic Turnabout. This one's going to be pretty short. Courtroom bombing. Terrible attack launched by the will of the madman. That incident perfectly symbolizes the state of the legal world in this dark age of law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution, court. Destinies was discovered to be one responsible for the bombing. If only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help it. That there's a darker influence at work, one that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, it got more than a personal stake. So this is going to actually take place before episode 1. Directly before episode 1.
One hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
December 16th, 9:12 a.m. District Courtroom. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 5. Time for another trial to begin. This one is different. Sorry to bother you. Are you alright, Apollo? Making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. Just really my core just feels size. Now I'm all ready to go. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, brought you a present from my garden. This? A lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus roots is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Later you can cook it. Thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now. Oh my! Kinda tough though. You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. If she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I've gotta calm down. Follow! I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing, yeah. Athena, stop. I'm kidding around with you. The trial's about to start any second. Everything all set? Oh, Apollo? Hello? Never figure it out. So what out? Oh. Wow. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. It's all over for me. Do we die? Do you remember this moment? Remember being in this sort of situation before? You're gonna find me guilty. You better remember the first turnabout. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon. Solo, Starbot. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance. You know her right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I were there almost a lot too much. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. You're okay with... Oh, of course I'm... I know you, Mr. Hey, but... Coffee? Could be a long one, right? Tastes good about. So depressed. Almost seems like that. getting called off must have been a huge shot. Going this. Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Besides, you just have to go into space again. God in it. No. Hey, Karen. I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. Like that's always telling me you're fine, Mr. Oh. Never seen Mr. Starbucks in town. Oh. I'm going to. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Starbucks, you'll be fine. Ah! What is? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Oh. No? Not that. He didn't go to investigate the area as I have liked. Goner. Everybody thinks I did it. I was gonna soar like a comet. Just gonna crash like a meteorite. No! Don't say that, Mr. Starbuck! Don't count yourself out yet. It's hard to do. Not going. And what about you, Apollo? About me? Just think, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo. The trial is about to begin. The defense will please proceed to the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our client, I will find Clay. December 16th, 9:55 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Open your eyes. I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? Don't. I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready. Doesn't want to talk about the eyeball. Sorry, Your Honor. It's been like this since yesterday. Just a tie. I suppose it's something he doesn't. Maybe he's in. Just an iPad. Not like he's going to be permanently blind. Very well. Prosecution? Prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence!
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Prosecution is now ready. Well, it didn't take me long this time. Oh, then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence!
I'll do it. Well, what an unexpected surprise. This time, I can't leave it to anyone else. Something different. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement if you would. It was just yesterday. The crime in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Famous federal research, knowledge, right? Astronomy. Anyways, the rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated. The launch was canceled. Dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One, Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever insane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he the famous astronaut? Guy here is probably saying, no, he's the owner of Starbucks coffee. Correct, your baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity. He even turned that incident into a movie now. We got a real space pioneer in fortune. Even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Turning to the subject at hand. One who played turn coordinator. The local disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death was it a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. So, he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see. I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there's one thing I'm curious about. The little box next to the witness. What purpose does it serve exactly? Since you asked so nicely, you're coughing. We already know what that is, don't we, Die? I guess. It's evident. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Dude, I feel like I just lost 50 years of my life. Well, let's see. If the judge is like in his 80s and he's adding 50 years on that, how old is he? 140? 130? Maybe he's 120. Most likely 130. If he's adding 50 years to his life. Does he have 50 years left? And now Athena's questioning it. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright, the name. In justice we trust. Oh, Detective Fulbright. Well then, please explain the details of this incident in court if you will. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the space center. And here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building, take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad and the middle building? Launch pad is the square building, and the rotated structure is the main building, right? Got it. The structure took place in the launch pad 1 and in the main building below. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easy to understand. Space Center added to the court record. Details of the case. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom, boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building and one in the launch pad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in the launch pad 1 at the time. 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding room. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. Murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct? Yep. Thinking he sabotaged the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at that tragic photo. Oh my. Is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor. A knife that cruelly ended this young man's dream. He couldn't get any prints off of it, so because the defendant was in his face, utility knife added to the court record. No way, Detective Fulbright. Why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photo? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity. Oh. Yes. It would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Oh, no. There's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is that round thing next to the victim in the photo? Something so important the victim had took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. Well, obviously valuable for research purpose, it has no relation to the case. See. So, you know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that was in launch pad 1 located? That one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram report into the record. Bombing report added to the court record. Files just started and we're already in a bind. Get used to it. Besides, that's the cross-examination. That's what cross-examination, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bomb. That'll be the This testimony is basically just to get most of the information.
Hold it!
How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down. But the room it went off and was burned black. See, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, stepping up to lead the evacuation. Hey, you were there in the first place, Detective Fulbright. I'll be Fulbright, here of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help. I'd go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. As far as that exactly. But I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision. Don't know. What'd he decide? Anyways, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at the time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators and the third floor lounge. It's black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras, whatnot, were running on emergency backup. And how did the evacuation go? They immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. Basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. Emergency shelter. Oh, here it is. At the bottom of the diagram. Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Evacuation report added to the court record. Power outage evacuation seems unrelated to murder. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. So, there were 2 explosions in total, correct? Yep, right.
Hold it!
Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosive? Huh? What are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Fine. Simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright. The motive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. So, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. That's absurd. Fortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them while his fears. There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it threatened to crash in time as well. That, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship. So, anti-anxiety medication, that means Mr. Starbuck has post-traumatic stress disorder.
Silence!
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name. How could he? No, not after the media had branded him Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these circumstances, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally. Constructed the act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space, which would effectively abort the launch, spare his reputation. Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on the atrocious criminal. There we go.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was only the two of them? It's just before the space ship was set to launch, so of course it was only the two. Oh, that could have been somebody else.
Silence!
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. Fingerprint recognition device sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center. Well, fingerprint recognition devices exist in the public now. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think. Take a look at this photo. This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. But it's very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes. There were only 3. Defendant, victim, and director of the Space Center, Yuri Kozma. And doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is one who's sick? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing bombs. Besides, having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these simple facts. Yes, the director can't consider suspect. Just had one door lock added to the core record. Oh, while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered near the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? Got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this time. If the victim had been alive, it would have, for sure, tried to stop the bomb. Mr. Stern could have been killed before he boarded the rocket. Both alive, and while at boarding time, embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space. What was their hope? I may continue my explanation. After the evacuation of the defendant must have escaped, carrying the victim. It looked like a wreck.
Hold it!
And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. Space Center Director, Jerry Cosmo, Detective Candace Arms. Well, we've heard Candace Arms' name before. You remember that name, right, Di? Episode 1 of this game. You should remember her name. One of them was a detective. Yep, Detective Arms specializes in bombing. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosion. Were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. Two witnesses. One of them is not either one would have anything to say that would help. I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. This is the truth that only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime. What little could I get out of hurt my case? Justice Dono, foolish as a warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. We normally don't see discs in this game, but this is the first time that we ever see a disc in the Ace Attorney series. So other times were VHSs. What is it? Footage from a security camera. Some security camera will still use VHSs. That's why they're still heavily made. Because they're a lot easier to record on than burning on a disc. As the two astronauts emerged from the bowels of the Launch Pad 1 corridor, the boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now we have to analyze this footage closely. Now I would direct your attention to the defendant. Is shouldering. Yes, we have to analyze this very closely. But you can see none other than the lifeless body of the victim. Once we figure out the truth, this whole thing is completely topsy-turvy. What? Order, I say. This lines up exactly with what the prosecution had been asserting. I should have known Blackwell was something. Security camera video added to the court record. Hello? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone? Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty crucial. The other point is, they're both wearing helmets. How can they tell who is who? Very hard to determine who is who. We'll figure that out. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Karen was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him? Well, I believe you're right. one man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence!
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed, hot-headed, and exalted. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright. Explain to Justice Sono. Got it. Ready, kid? The murder had occurred in the lounge. Someone could have spotted it. Anyone could enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's the horse of a different color.
Objection!
But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence!
Their search based on emotion. Based in your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciples. You have no logical explanation as to why the victim will be alive. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, your argument is lacking sound logic. It's not a perfectly logical thing. The prosecution doesn't have a sound logical reason as to why the victim is dead in the first place. There isn't really enough evidence to assume that the victim is dead in that footage. Anyone can see that it's just an astronaut helping out his fellow comrade. And the fact that we can't identify who they are, who knows? The defendant could be the one that's being carried. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? No.
Hold it!
Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the fact, I'm not sure I see the need. What is this, Tina? Yes, there's something that's been bothering me. It isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yes. You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds? 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess that 5 seconds up. 5 seconds? After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Well, he said he was being generous. He didn't say how generous he was going to be. The baldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Oh. Ready? But we don't have time. Spit it out, Athena. Only 3 more seconds. Look, I don't think the prosecution explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Ah, you're right. I think I know what you're talking about. Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. That was longer than 5 seconds. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor, actually, there is. There's something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way, what is it that the prosecution failed to explain? They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? He makes a good explanation as to why somebody would carry a dead body. Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of the argument is wrong? And let's hear your theory, Mr. The defense proposed the defendant didn't kill the victim, he was helping him. Ah! Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Huh? They've got to be joking. Simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's actually not a good reason. True. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so they'd be recorded. At the very least, he's prepared to have achieved success with you and the old man. Ah. One man carrying the other to space. What a beautiful expression of friendship. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver scene. Completely taken in by the humanity of the story. See? Yet the true ending is that all traces of his Tammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion.
Silence!
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lock. Leo Carson decides the witness that would be a bomb transport team. Use that to transport the deactivated bomb here, found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most tasteful toy. What? One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 fireworks display. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated. Or had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence surely have been immobilized or mutilated.
Objection!
Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports I can use my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence. However, know that a particular item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonation. You found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain that he is. No, Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that. Justice Donna, open your eyes and see the truth. This appears to be irrefutable evidence set off the explosion. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You'll believe in your client, come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? It's got to be a trap. Like Blackwell's controlling the entire game. Yeah, it seems like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving. Why do you say that? Because he just the right argument it out. To really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. Trying to shake my fate in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. And making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan, too. Fully underhanded. I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon. How did this happen? Mr. Starbuck, you're looking very well. Will you be able to... Oh, Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony? Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You're being accused of the Space Center bombing in the Center place. Please testify to these allegations.
Silence!
It's not the weight of the truth that you but of your sin. Prepare to carry the weight the rest of your life. That is true. Wow, that was super negative. Is he going to be alright up there? He'll be fine. Hey, he did it. He didn't kill him. All he did was support Clay. Told her to get us out of the rock. As always, took the elevator down to the middle level, headed for the court. Clay had passed out by the time we got to the quarter deck. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him. So you asserted you didn't set off the bomb or murder the victim? But I bet you I'm angry. I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I will say that when I saw you in the movie, you appeared quite courageous. So I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a... I really don't care what happens anymore. Oh no, he's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on the other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago. That was Blackwell sighing. Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even Mr. Starbuck is my client. I can't believe gun-shy. I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find out the truth.
Hold it!
Oh, what are you saying is that the victim was still alive at the time? Sure, he was alive at the time.
Silence!
So, then you admit you took a man who was alive and well and silenced him permanently with this? What? No. Black hole confirmed. Dead ahead. Ah! It's no good, Captain. I'm getting sucked in.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you are not in space. Please give your testimony. Seriously. It was just nerves. Maybe I didn't. Said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over. Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah, hey bro.
Hold it!
Is that the elevator inside launch pad area? That's right. We always use it to get to and from the cockpit. Makes sense. So he was just... In spite of the fact that there had just been an explosion? Huh? I think Mr. Starbuck is hiding. Something pretty big.
Hold it!
Passed out? Why was he passed out? Probably because of the explosion. Noise and vibration. Incredible. Little wonder a person would pass out, right? Yeah. Not that I... Ah! I've been hit by space debris! The main engine's on fire! I'm gonna blow! Ah! Yes, I see. I guess it does make sense that someone would pass out. Especially if the person in question is Mr. Starbuck. Anyway. Oh.
Hold it!
Don't worry, I understand. I'll make sure everything turns out all right. But everyone's glaring at me like I did it. Paulo, you have to reassure him better than that. How am I supposed to do that? Try to imagine how he's feeling. Use that to figure out how to boost his confidence. Mr. Starbuck, think back to what Clay used to always say. It's times like these when he would I'm fine to himself. Fine? Yeah, I guess he did say that a lot. Oh. Even if I started playing. What's the use? Could somebody please reassure me now? Follow. There's something strange about Mr. Starbucks' testimony. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The glaring contradiction. I wonder why it's there and what it means for our case. Well, it doesn't look like he's lying at least. I'll have to show some evidence. Alright, now we get to take testimony. We didn't get no new testimony out of him. Well, we don't really have any evidence to imply that he didn't pass out. Well, if we look at the evidence, the middle level is right there. See where it was at? Because that's the only way to get to the corridor. So he's not lying about that. Bombing report on this statement.
Objection!
Mr. Starbucks, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Oh, was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the bomb went off in Launch Pad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right. Means exactly. The launch pad elevator would have been unusable. In other words, Mr. Starbucks, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet? Mission command. Mission command. Do you read me? Come in, please.
Objection!
This is mission command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my question, Mr. Starbucks. Oh, my helmet. My oxygen tank! Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining, requesting medical assistance. Ah! Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator? I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route. Thanks. Different route? Thanks. I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get right this time, maybe. No, I mean, probably. Probably? It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. Oh, right. Hermite did Sonic the Hedgehog. I gotta go watch it. My escape route. Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. With the capsule and clay in my arm, I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. You use the ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire didn't reach the ladder, so we could make our escape that way. Capsule you mentioned? I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Tarrant here? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, the capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable. It's valuable as research material. With his spacesuit on, Clay weighed a ton. Carrying the capsule was also. I need your answer to the best of your ability, Mr. Starbuck. Please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony. Maybe I am guilty after all. If you do this, Sergeant, but it's more comfortable than space.
Hold it!
How could you mistake such a basic fact? Hey, everybody makes mistakes. Try not to ask basic fact. Earth takes 4 light years to travel toward your star. You see, compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant. Enough jabbering. Get on with your testimony.
Hold it!
Maybe? Probably? Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck? I didn't say either of those. Mission Control, come in, please. An error has occurred in the sound system. Activate the emergency tin can telephone. Ah, no! Tin can telephones are ineffective in the vacuum of space.
Silence!
Stop this nonsense, or I will sever you and your tin can telephone. All right, I'm begging you. I'm telling you the truth. Just don't sever anything. Is he going to be all right? I'm trying to think he's not. Let's see. So about when we were running away.
Hold it!
The upper level of the launch pad area? That's right. That's what I said, isn't it? Granted, the route does exist. So to recap, you and Clay over your right shoulder. You had Clay over your right shoulder, the capsule in your left hand. Yeah, it's really important. I couldn't let it get buried up. So, even though Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him. I did the best I could with over the shoulder capsule in the other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. You know what you had that statement. Justice Dono. Yes, I know. Oh, from this spot. No turning back now. It's time to send them. So Mr. Starbuck escaped the play and the capsule machine. Just like in the footage, you can see why he couldn't run though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of the capsule. I don't think I could have ever walked under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to do. So, there is a contradiction if you actually saw it. They kind of showed it. There isn't really much in there. Yes, they actually did have to take a different path. That is true. There's nothing in that statement I can use. That's it for your statement. Well, this would have to be it. Diagram. Is that what he's saying? that what Andy told you?
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue. The Earth is blue? Is the Earth blue, Di? We can also say the Earth is green, brown, yellow, white. No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. The truth, Mr. Starbuck. Ah! The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tank. Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was along the escape route. What do you think they're talking about? Well, of course he would be able to get to the corridor, but there's something before the corridor. Yeah, he would need both hands on the ladder.
Take that!
To get down from the upper to the middle levels where the Launchpad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course. That was the only way we could escape.
Objection!
But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well. Pulling him at over 200 pounds. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on the Earth.
Objection!
But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? Oh. So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down the ladder with your arms full? Ah! Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now. Ah! Engineer, where's the engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance. What the? He's flying the coop. Ah, help! I'm caught up on the ceiling. Oh, help! Anyone? Layla, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch our rescue mission at once. Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes, I apologize for losing control. That was the last of my parachute. Are you ready to tell us The truth? Not that. Anything but that. What is going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. The fair straightforward is prone to deception. Wouldn't it? Yikes! Yes? I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Ah! Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't talk about that! What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state the Space Boy is ironically terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. You see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Oh. This thing ought to know that. You got it all wrong. I took him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took medication, I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Somebody must have slipped them to me. But, I guess maybe that's why I don't remember, because of the side effects? Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What? Order in the court. Well, we can't get any useful information out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony changed. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space. Oh, maybe I really did do it. Which brings us to the answer of our original question, of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. Does? What is it? Dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, says Connell. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Oh my, I see. Then the defendant could climb down with his free hand. Unfortunately, that don't work, because we're looking at a ladder that's about 15 feet high. Don't you think the body would sustain premortal bruises? No possible.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. Oh, you're capable of quick thinking. Yes, you're correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Ah! Huh? Oh, what's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's face. Ruptured. I'm sure you can figure out why. Can't be implying the ruptured tendon dropped the victim's body. Yeah, or they fractured easily.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel will leave its mark on the body. That, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence!
Spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy. It includes the latest technology devices made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
And shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? Good. And yet, through sheer coincidence, The knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit structure and found its way to the target. What are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suit works. Got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about that. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Ah! Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Considered it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river, Stick. Ah! Oxygen tank data added to the core record. Hey, this report is pretty detailed. Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. I guess that means those glowing cyan digits represents the amount of oxygen in the tank. I'm done for. So my question is how come he doesn't have one right now? I'm going to prison instead of space! Space boy. Yes! Take heart. The jeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bar. I want to read this. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured, remaining oxygen 0%. The tank belonging to Starbuck claims to have carried the victim, said it was 80% full. Tanks are functioning properly at the time. Well, we just have a video camera that says 50 on it. So this already contradicts the video. But that remains the question. Well, if he's not wrong and his did say 80%, where's the 50%? Where's the 50%? So the one that we have in possession isn't Clay's at all. But it had ruptured during the, but that tank that we have there ruptured during the explosion. That's what the report said. It said it ruptured after the explosion because they're assuming that Clay Terrence died before they reached the lounge. You mean the stars are seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your space. Picture the view through the iron bar. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not a half-bad thought. Mr. Starbuck? Trust your black road got good. Apply me my guilt, my despair into the deepest, darkest space. Then, let's get sucked into a black hole together.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh? Yes, Apollo? You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you'd Never give up your dream and passion for space, no matter the situation. Said that? So don't give up now and help me prove you're innocent. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Tarrant. For Clay! You're wasting your breath. Rah! 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 Follow. Thank you. I can see things clearly now. Mr. Starbuck. I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission. Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Rah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul. I'm on fire! I am Sloman Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Boulder Dash. The sun, the moon. All of space is calling me. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Well, I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. Can't take the credit, it was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through. You simpletons are done massaging one another's egos. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, you bald man? I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I can't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. You've got to destroy Blackwell's argument. Somehow. Think justice safe. The only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. And if Clay was already dead by the time this was taken, the only person who could have killed him is Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding room. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Now let's see about this data that we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. And if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Now for this, Clark. Hold. Let's have your verdict.
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Tarrant's had 0. You stand by the accuracy of this report. And I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. So we'll explain what you mean, Justice Dono. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report saying is contradiction to. This one you should already know, Di. How does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. You should be able to see it. Hello, Phoenix.
Take that!
Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tank increased? See, Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there is a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on?
Silence!
I, too, found it odd that the oxygen remained. It would be odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that mean? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection!
I'm going to bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. You can't overlook.
Silence!
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of mysteriously increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot prove an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Of course I can. The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking. Mr. Starbuck had no memory of it. He claims to have carried clay. That means with the 50 on his tank, ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown its speed. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not, why did the oxygen level increase, but what had to happen to make it look like it increased? Am I making some kind of mistake in my case of thinking here? Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. So I am going to eliminate one of these three answers. The first one is completely wrong. Because if you think about it, nobody can rewind time. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But it turns out this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. It was what? Order, Mr. Justice. You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran? It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. Right. There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. That means Mr. Karen was alive as they made their escape to the
Silence!
How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms?
Objection!
Prosecutor Black, you can't harm me with a broken blade. Excuse me? It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigation. But we have proven Mr. Karen was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claim and opens up the possibility that the victim could have been alive by a third party. Ah! There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. Can we truly trust their statements? See, two people were Detectives Candace Arm and Yuri Carson, right? You think that one of them might have given false statements? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of those first two people on the scene. Sure. Come to think of it, Detective Armory should be here in the courtroom. Rayla, could you please show Detective Arms to the stand? I have an announcement, everyone. Well, what's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. Oh! Bomb? Now? Everybody run! Eek! I don't want to die! Oh no! Everybody's panicking!
Silence!
Headless chickens with a death wish. A lot of you. Calm yourselves before all else. Come on, Apollo. Let's get out of here. What about Mr. Starbucks Dream? Who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens. Not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way. Hey, what? Ouch, let me go! Follow! Juniper! He hasn't evacuated yet? Hey! Juniper! Are you alright? Follow! No, not that way! Ah! That's going to be the end of episode. That's going to be the end of episode 4. I told you that one was short. Huh? That starts off episode 5. No, it's not. Episode 5 is not a DLC. No, episode 5 is the continuation of this. No. Because episode... Well, that's where episode 4 originally ended. Because episode 5 started out with the new one where Phoenix Wright came in. Because that episode 5 takes place after. No. Because there's 6 episodes to this game. There's 6. There's 6. Trust me. No, we're going to be ending this here. Because, why? Do you want me to continue? Because if you look it up on the wiki, it marks out 6 episodes. The 6th...
I have.
The next one is going to be pretty long, yes. Because when I pulled this up before I started, they had 6 episodes mentioned. They did. Because the DLC was listed as episode 6. Okay. But the rest of this is going to actually happen after episode 1. Yes, exactly. But was almost certain that was where episode 4 should have ended. Because episode 5 continue on afterwards. Unless, yeah, okay. So yeah, from here on out, everything is going to be after episode 1. And I just noticed there's a glare on the... No. No, they're in the other one. Because episode... No. You don't understand. Episode 5 is actually the continuation of episode 4. No. Because episode 4 originally was supposed to be just the trial. Then it went into episode 5. It's weird how out of order the story is. Well, let's see. Justice for All did the same thing. We also had that happen in Trials and Tribulation. makes things confusing. Well, it makes a little bit of sense how they set it up um because if they had have done all of this beforehand, it would have actually spoiled the climax of the case, the storyline itself. So they did episode 1 the way they did, okay, as like an introduction, as an opening to the game, okay, because Winston, you remember in the first 4 games, Winston Payne always opened up the game. In this one here, Gaspard Payne opened up the game. So they made that as your introductory case. Okay. The anime could have just done them in order. It didn't matter. They did not do the first case and Justice for All in order. That wasn't until season 2. Which should have been in season 1 because they had done Justice for All with Phoenix Wright in the first season. Season 2 was specifically all Trials and Tribulation, which is a little bit better than the first season. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot. It says we're continuing episode 4, but I remember just the trial being episode 4, but episode 4 is still pretty quick. Yeah. Output is so you can hear it through the TV. Yeah, I'm not sure why there's one here. There should not be one in this scene.
I believe it's for the camera.
Game capture audio is not for the camera.
Well, then why is game muted?
It is muted.
Okay.
I had to fix it. See. Yeah. For whatever reason, there's each scene, and each scene is supposed to have their own. They have their own sources. For whatever reason, there's a game capture audio in every single scene now. But there needs to be a filter for this. There's no noise gate on this.
I put one on Twitter originally because OBS screwed everything up. Because I had one.
We would have stayed with XSplit, but XSplit is not doing anything to fix the software, and we've been working with them over and over and over again and tell them what's wrong with it, and they keep saying, oh, that's on your end. So until they decide that there's a problem on their end, because we get error reports strictly from XSplit, but yet they don't want to acknowledge that these errors shows up on XSplit. They keep saying, oh, we need your files and stuff. Says our files should be exactly the same as you guys over there in the development tool. Over there developing it. It should be exactly the same thing. Which originally it wasn't. When we first started using it, it was using way less than OBS. Because OBS still has a one problem that we used to have. Because for some reason, I would see CPU increase quite frequently. And it didn't like our internet much either, because we always kept getting frame buffers for some reason. So that was the other issue that we were having with OBS before, is the reason why we went to XSplit. And we're still having problems with OBS. And then we get like these other people that says, I don't know how you guys are getting so much problems with OBS. I'm not. It's just... And then I find out that there's a lot of them that's not using the latest version of OBS. Because apparently you can actually skip versions. Because there's a version of OBS that we had that had a massive memory leak, which we dropped it. Completely dropped it. They didn't want to acknowledge that there was a memory leak, even though people swore up and down that there was. When's the last time you updated OBS? possibly. I haven't had that issue in Mario Maker. Mario Maker, for some reason, it doesn't matter if you're like streaming it or recording it on OBS, there's a bunch of screen tearing. I've seen it a lot with a lot of people. They always suffer from screen tearing, despite that they have it set to the highest resolution and the highest frame rate that OBS allows. Because if there's a lot of things that's moving on the screen at once, you will see screen tearing. And I think you experienced that too. It's like there's like a whole bunch of fire bars that are in the little circle and they keep repeating it. And then there's a whole bunch of screen tearing as you're recording it because what it's doing is causing OBS to lag. The one thing I did like about XSplit is the fact that I ended up getting a lot better visuals off in XSplit than I did OBS. I see. Because as I'm looking at OBS right now, the camera itself is a lot more snowy than I remembered it from XSplit. Because I can see snow in the background. You can look at the couch. There's a little bit of snow there. There's a little bit of snow on my face. There's a lot of snow. And in XSplit, I didn't really see the snow that much. The camera is low quality anyways, but this is a lot more snow than I'm used to seeing. I've seen some better high quality cameras for a good decent price and I wanted them mounted on the wall. I had expected to have two of them, one pointed to this couch, one pointed to the couch that sits over here. Yes. Anyways, schedule for the week. Tomorrow, Minish Cap. Tomorrow or Wednesday is going to be Dot Hack. Friday is going to be Castlevania. Or Thursday is going to be Castlevania. Friday is going to be The Sims. Sorry, I screwed up my entire schedule. Anyways, hopefully we're going to get more stuff for the month of October for Spooky Month. We'll work on trying to get more Castlevania stuff going. Because Andy's got to do more with Super Castlevania 4 at some point. I'm already working on Circle of the Moon, so I don't really have to do much. I think it may take me about 3-4 streams to complete Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon is quite easy. But we'll see. We'll see how long it takes me. Alright. But that's going to be it for me. You all have a wonderful night. Take care.